Hi and welcome to the test server of patch 8.4. I know I took quite long to get into the test server and to get some footage uploaded, but I had real problems logging into the first test server because there's that much traffic on it that I kept getting into huge queues, and then I was always kicked out of them because there was too much traffic. So this is the second test server. I think it was released yesterday or a day before yesterday, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, it's far easier to log in now. Traffic's far less, obviously. So here I am, and this video will just be a short overview about the changes. I've already uploaded a similar video based on pictures that Wargaming had published, but this video will just be based on the test server, on the stats that are given on the test server, and I won't be going into any great detail. I'll just be correcting some mistakes that I made in my previous preview video. And then in later videos I'll be going into detail, for example, about this tank. So the first change that you encounter right in your garage is this little button right up here, and it says Battle Tutorial next to it. So this is a little tutorial which takes about 8 minutes, I think, and it shows you how to drive your tank and how to destroy enemies. I think it's pretty good, except for it recommends you to use auto aim. That's not quite the kind of style of gameplay you should be practicing, but it's very useful for beginners. I think that was something that World of Tanks was really needing badly, and I think it's really good that they added it. I won't be showing you any of this tutorial just right now, because when you click on to start, you get into this queue and it says you have an average waiting time of 3,227 minutes. So we won't wait that long to do this tutorial, but I've uploaded a video with a tutorial. It's called World of Tanks Patch 8.4 Battle Tutorial, so if you want to see the tutorial, just check that out. Now, of course, the second and biggest change is that the British TDs were added, and this baby right here is the Tier 10 British TD. It's the FV 215B 183, and this is quite a beast. The reason it is a beast is its alpha damage. Except for artillery, this tank now has the biggest alpha damage in the game. Now, up till now, that was the Jagdpanzer E100 that had the biggest alpha damage, but now it's this baby here, and it can deal out up to 1,438 damage per shell. That's awesome, but the reload time isn't awesome. It's just really bad. Two rounds per minute. That's a reload time of 30 seconds. So the tech tree, the British TDs are right in the middle here, and I have to correct myself. I had a little mistake in my last video, because I showed you this tank here, the AT2, and I said it is the Valentine AT, but the Valentine AT is this, and this tank I showed you is the AT2, so sorry for that. And but the changes to the British tech tree aren't the only ones. There was a new premium tank added to the Russian tech tree, the SU-100Y, just right next to the SU-100. It's tier 6, and I think this tank's pretty interesting as well. I've got it in my garage. I bought it yesterday. Here it is, and this looks pretty. I think it looks pretty ugly actually, but who cares? because its shell damage is 500 up to 550. This is the alpha damage of average tier 10 heavy tank, and this is a tier 6 tank. And the reload time, considering the alpha damage, the reload time isn't all that bad. But 60 frontal armor, 60 hull armor, that's nothing. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't played any games in this tank yet, but I'm probably going to be uploading some gameplay videos later on in this tank, because this will be probably really fun to play, really interesting. So yeah, just look out for that video. And then there were a few changes added to the German tech tree as well. Now, Wargaming announced that there'd only be 2 new German tanks added, but there are actually 3 new German tanks added. The Panzer I, the Panzer IC, and the Panzer IIG. So the biggest change is that you've got your scout line right at the bottom now, and you can go to it from the LOL tractor over the Panzer I, over the Panzer IC, and then you get your Lux. So now the Lux was moved up to tier 4, it was tier 3 before, now it's tier 4. The Leopard is tier 5, and the VK281 is a tier 6 tank now. Yeah, I don't know if this tank was actually buffed or nerfed or something like that. Its speed limit was nerfed. It's only 60 kilometers per hour now. So yeah, I'll have a look into that later and tell you probably. So yeah, considering the new tanks, the Panzer I, okay, it's a tier 2 vehicle. Who cares? You'll be through this tank in a day or something like that, or not even a day. You can actually just jump it with free experience. So I won't be telling you anything about this tank. It isn't very interesting, really, either. But then these 2 tanks here are very interesting, especially this tank, because this tank is the new fastest tank in the game. It can do 79 kilometers per hour, so that's a new in-game record of speed. And yeah, this will probably be a very effective scout. It's obviously a scout. It's got really good speed, it's got a good signal range, a good view range, and yeah, so this will probably be real fun playing, although it's only tier 3. And then there's this tank, the Panzer IIG. This tank is interesting because of its gun. The top gun is the 3cm MK103 gun, and it's a tier 5 gun, so it's probably going to be pretty superior over the guns this tank will be usually facing. So yeah, and that was about it concerning the new tanks. But there's been another change to the tech tree, because now I can't really mouse over it now, because I have to mouse over the tank to show it to you. But there in these tank specs you get, it says under speed limit, it says specific power, and that is the speed divided by the weight. So I think this is really good, because I used to be sitting there with my calculator and, you know, trying to figure out what the quote of that was. So now I've just added it, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, so you can just see it everywhere. Yeah, so okay, so that was that was it. Yeah, as I said, I'm going to be uploading some videos probably today about, say, this tank and this tank. So yeah, check them out please if you're interested. And yeah, please make sure to like if you liked the video and comment, and see you next time. Bye bye.